Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at the Walmart off of El Dorado Road in Frisco, Texas. As always, please make sure you are hitting the like button or the thumbs up button for this video. It definitely helps my video out and get pushed out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as following me on Instagram at Grow Folds. It is the first day of 2025. We made it into the new year, January 1st, 2025. And you already know plant foldies. And for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome to my 1 hour plant shopping videos. We're starting the new year off right by going big box or plant shopping. I did want to check out this Walmart to see if they had any new releases. Typically around this time, there might be some plant restock. So we're going to go ahead and just take a gander and take a look at some of the plants. You can see right here by Garden Expert, $9.97. This is a 6-inch planter of some golden pothos. And the thing about golden pothos is it is one of those easy to care for plants. And as we begin the new year, I want to try and get everybody excited about getting some more of the basic plants, going back to the basics, resetting routines, and really looking at plants that are going to bring you joy with less stress. And I would tell you, golden pothos or Epipremnum aureum, any variety of pothos is going to be there. And for $9.97, that is a really good price. And then over here is an 8-inch hanging basket by Costa Farms. This is for $19.84. This is the golden pothos, again by Costa Farms. And with golden pothos, as long as you maintain the watering, as in letting the soil dry out completely, watering it, you will be fine. As far as like being able to propagate it, you can take multiple cuttings and water it. Put it in water and root it in that medium, and you will get some new propagations of golden pothos. Same thing with Tradescantias. And let's take a look at this one right here. So this is a lipstick plant, the Mona Lisa. And if you notice, this is also another plant that is pretty easy to take care of. I would say it's very similar to a Hoya. If you touch the leaves, it has more of a waxy texture about it. And, I like these plants that are a little bit more green. As far as what plants I would hope would be a trend, I would say let us be a community where we can trend or make it a trending plant for 2025. And I would say let's make it the green plants, the non-variegated plants. Let's go against the grain and see if we can get people excited about reverting back to the basics, reverting back to the green plants, the more stable plants. Like this one right here, this is a Fascia shadera or a Pia tree ivy plant. So this is basically a Japanese Aralia crossed with an English ivy, and that's another one of my favorite plants. And then as far as this one right here, this is another Costa Farms Exotic Angels plant. This one is for $5.77. You can see that this is another croton plant. And as far as crotons are concerned, they typically come out around the months of October, November. They are more readily available because they have that fall color vibe, the reds, the yellows, the browns, the dark foliage. And for me, it is a tropical plant. So it's really interesting how that becomes a seasonal fall plant when it's a little bit colder in terms of the weather. Now this one right here is a Peperomia obtusifolia, very durable, very easy to care for plant. And then we have a Pearls in Jade pothos by Costa Farms. Again, this is for $5.77 in a 3-inch starter planter. I still would recommend, basic plants, easy to care for plants. And if you're going to really follow my channel this year in 2025, I'm really going to try to push that agenda of really getting into the more easy to care for plants. Because if you haven't watched the plant podcast that I'm part of, the plant podcast show Cultivation Corner, we premiered a episode about plant burnout. And I will tell you, at the end of 2024, I was pretty much experiencing plant burnout. In addition to me having a very demanding job, the holidays are really stressful for me in that sense. And then just the clutter I had in my plant collection. I spent a lot of my time today, January 1st, really organizing my plants, getting my IKEA cabinet together, and really trying to declutter spaces. I also made decisions on parting with certain plants, either sending plants to compost, and that might be a topic that not everybody agrees with, or gifting plants, re-gifting plants, giving plants to one of my best friends, Isaac, who also has a YouTube channel called Hi JR Sings. He tends to take my rescues from me. But as far as Walmart, I've been seeing a lot of new posts, and if you notice, this is another trending tropicals plant, $19.98. This is a Alocasia Silver Dragon, beautiful plant as well. You know, as far as Alocasias, they're beautiful, but for me, I'm going to refrain from purchasing a lot of them because they're a little bit more challenging than I'm willing to put the effort to try to grow. Now, this Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, that would be a plant I would add to my plant collection because it's fast growing, it's easy, and it's cost effective. And as far as managing our finances, I would say at the very beginning of the year, I don't know about you, plant foldies, but I'm pretty sure we've spent quite a bit of money over the holidays doing Christmas shopping. And, you know, January tends to be a slower month for a lot of us financially. So as far as like plant shopping, I am going to really refrain from purchasing any new plants for at least the month of January, unless I end up getting some more like super stickers or super things. Those are monetary tips that our plant foldies can provide either during the live premiere chats. I'll put a live premiere goal, or if you feel inclined to support the channel, you can always hit that $sign and put any amount that might help fund some of my plant shopping. But in terms of just my personal finances, I'm gonna reel it back a little bit and just enjoy the plant. So I will definitely still take you to Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, or local plant nurseries and show you some of the new plants making it into the big box stores. Like this one, $15.97. You can see that this is a Calathea ornata, beautiful plant. I love the pink stripes that it has on there. Unfortunately, Calatheas are just not going to make it into my plant collection this year. You can see right here another trending tropicals by Costa Farms, $19.84. This is a Philodendron White Knight, and I have two Philodendron White Knights, and I ended up acquiring them earlier last year. And it's interesting how I say last year, literally it was 2024 yesterday. Today is 2025. And I did want to ask those that have actually tuned in for this live premiere or this video, let me know how you celebrated your New Year's Eve. Let me know what you did for New Year's Day. Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Do you have any wish list plans that you want to get in 2025? Please leave that in the comment section. I love all of the commentary you guys leave. I think we ended up with like 100 comments from yesterday's video, so that made me so happy, super excited and pumped to come out and film plants. I happen to be off today, so I spent a lot of time cleaning. I spent a lot of time reflecting on 2024, and then obviously I squeezed in a little time to do a brand new big box store plant shopping videos. I'm really trying to stay consistent plant foldies and getting you that content. Now, as you can see right here, this is another Dracaena. This is a Dracaena Warneckii, and this one is for $9.97 in a 6-inch planter. Mind you, these 6-inch planters are actually sourced out by Costa Farms, but if you're going to ask me what big box store is the most cost effective for 6-inch planters, it would have to be Walmart. Now over here is a Begonia Maculata, and this is part of the Begonia Cane series that Costa Farms has. I hope that Costa Farms will keep pushing out more begonias this year, and that's the thing about what I am excited about is just the new plant releases that we'll see in 2025. I am really curious to see what plants are going to be trending plants. I am curious to see what plants are going to drop down in price, and just all of the plant shows that I am slated to go to and share that content. Now, as far as Aglaonemas, you already know this is an Aglaonema Golden Fluorite. Beautiful trending tropicals plant, $19.84. And then we have another self-watering planter, $15.97. I do love the pink color for that self-watering planter. This is an Aglaonema Red Siam. I did notice that it did go up in price as far as like the self-watering. That's $15.97. Normally those self-watering planters would be $14.98, and that's the thing, plant foldies. I don't know if it's inflation or just the cost of plants have gone up a little bit. That's the reason why if you are going to go plant shopping, I recommend shopping around, definitely looking at plant pricing. If you are in the DFW area, I am based out in North Dallas. Definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel with all the notification bell on, because at least you'll stay up to date with the current plant pricing that we have in the DFW market. But as you can see right here, another Dieffenbachia. This one is for $9.97. So at least this one is still maintaining that price. You know, as far as like starters, like this one right here is a Dracaena Masanjian. Or actually, no, this is a Dracaena Dorado. It has larger foliage. It is an easy to care for plant. It is low light tolerant, drought tolerant, and for $9.97, that is a perfect starter plant for anybody that's wanting to get into, you know, house plants. And you can see we've got lots of large foliage plants. We've got a bunch of Monstera deliciosas, and I always tell people the green form of that Monstera deliciosa, part of me feels like it's not as popular as it was about 4 years ago because of all of the variegated versions of Monstera. To me, if you're able to grow that Monstera deliciosa into a large form, it would be a stunning showstopper plant that you can put in your house. It does take up a lot of space, so you have to plan for a lot of these plants. You have to really do your research on what plants will get large, and this is actually a new release, one that I am actually willing to buy. Let's take a look at this. This is only for $24.84 by Costa Farms. This is a Philodendron Narrow Escape, also known as a Philodendron Jungle Boogie. So this is basically the green form of the serrated philodendron series. You know, there is the Philodendron Pluto, the Philodendron Ring of Fire, the Philodendron Golden Crocodile, the Philodendron Caramel Marble. Those are all of the different types of serrated philodendron. And of course, I wanted to show you an Aglaonema Red Siam, and these ones look like ones from last year. This one is the $14.97. I was actually tempted to purchase this because if you look at the red foliage, it's got more red, and with Aglaonema Red Siam, the more bright indirect light you give it, the higher potential of it pushing out more red leaves. And this is a plant find, and even though it is more readily available, this is a Monstera Thai Constellation by Costa Farms. You can see that this one though is for $29, I believe, and 97 cents. It's the only one at this Walmart. And Monstera Thai Constellations, what makes me happy about them is they are more readily available. I remember about 4 years ago, I ended up spending more than $200 for a one leaf, one node cutting to propagate and actually get. But now if you, you know, fast forward actually 5 years now, 5 years down the line, you'll be able to find a Monstera Thai Constellation in a big box store. You can see that there are some more trending tropical plants here. There's not nearly as big of a selection at this Walmart. So I'm going to go ahead and go big box store plant shopping right next door to the Lowe's off of El Dorado Road in Frisco, Texas. This is literally right across the street from the Walmart. I went plant shopping. And again, if you haven't already, please make sure you are hitting the like button for this video. I definitely feel like that helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And as far as just, you know, 2025, the first day of the year, I always say, I have the superstition about New Year's that if you are frugal, if you are, you know, watching your finances and not spending money on the first day of January 1st, 2025, for instance, then you will be better suited with how you are going to manage your finances. So just know, plant foldies, even though I went big box store plant shopping, I didn't really buy any plants. I exercise window shopping, plant window shopping, and I'm okay with that. It is a beautiful day. It is a little bit cooler today. I ended up sleeping and not waiting for the New Year's to arrive. I just felt like I needed quite a bit of rest, and I already shared a lot of my plant learnings, the learnings I got from last year, 2024, and it's just interesting for me to say last year when last year was literally yesterday. I am excited to be off this coming weekend, so hopefully I can get you guys some more plant content. And to all of those that have been really wanting me to do a houseplant tour, let's just say that I've been working on getting it, and you may end up seeing it this first month of 2025. I'll have a pretty nice detailed houseplant tour of some of the plants I've had. But as you can see right here, whenever you go to Lowe's, you can see that they still have quite a bit of plants, indoor and outdoor plants. If you notice, all of the seasonal plants like the poinsettias, the Norfolk pines, the Christmas cactus have kind of disappeared. Either they've been clearanced out or they have made it somewhere to either plant heaven or recycled somewhere. But I did also want to show you some of these succulents right here. So one thing I did want to touch more on is learning more about succulents this year. You know, with the new year, it always becomes more of a symbolized thing for me that it's a new beginning. It's like when I share what time of the day is my favorite time, and that is early morning. When the sun rises, it just kind of brings forth a new day, a new beginning, new hope. And so for me, 2025, January 1st is always a special day for me. It's one that I really spend a lot of time reflecting on. It's one of the times where I spend a lot of time cleaning and really resetting my home, trying to get all of the bad juju that may have tried to follow me into the new year. Like I said, again, in terms of superstitions, I really try to make the first day of the new year a productive one, a cost-effective one where I don't spend any kind of money at all, and I just really try to take time for myself. So plant foldies, I am appreciative of you guys going into a big box store with me the first day of the year. You can see that this is a Lowe's I typically don't go to, so this is further out from me. It is about an 18-minute drive from where I'm based at, but you can see right here that dendrobium, I think that's a dendrobium orchid. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Love orchids, and that's the thing for this new year is I also want to learn more about orchids. I may end up adding more orchids to my plant collection. You know, they remind me of a tropical environment, and it's not just a Philodendron orchids that I really want to get into. It's all of the different types of orchids. So I'm going to do a lot of research on that. You know, if you're asking me how you should start the year off, especially if you are number one, looking to start a plant collection, like if you discovered my channel, I'm really going to try to walk you through on plant shopping, what plants you should select, what are great beginner plants. If you're going to start a plant collection the beginning of this year, I would say let's go ahead and look at your lighting conditions in your home. Let's look at the amount of time you can invest in watering your plants, taking care of your plants. And I would say if you're going to start a plant collection, minimize how many plants you're going to add into your plant collection for at least 2 months. I would say do not add more than 5 plants within a 2-month span. That way you can pace yourself. Plant burnout is real. We really did touch base on that. And I have experienced that. I'm trying to reset it to the point where I won't make the same types of mistakes that I did last year. You know, some of the things that I learned is as much as I want to enjoy and collect all of the plants, it's really more overwhelming. It's really adding more workload when you put yourself in a situation where, yes, you want to go ahead and collect every single type of Philodendron orchid or every single type of Monstera or every single type of Calathea, pothos, etc., etc. For me, it's really more of looking at plants that add some type of diversity, some type of feeling that you get from a plant, some type of joy. And so if you're going to go plant shopping like I am today, I would just really look at the plant that you have an intention on buying. Do your research, figure out what plant you want to get, know some basic care tips for it before you go into a big box store like Lowe's, for instance, and that way you won't have these impulse buys. Now, am I going to say you won't have an impulse buy if you go plant shopping? Absolutely not. There are times where, like the other day, literally the last day of the year, I ended up getting a more uncommon pothos plant. That was the green Jula pothos, which really isn't an uncommon pothos. It's just a pothos that you wouldn't really see in a hanging basket. It's a reverted Manjula pothos, but I figured it was a really cool but easy to care for plant, so I can justify buying that. I can justify having that impulse buy. Now, as far as all of the plants I'm picking up here, you know, it's interesting. These are like containers which are only for $22.98. So you get a Philodendron Hederaceum, a Brazil, Philodendron Hederaceum Brazil, a bromeliad, and a variegated umbrella plant all in one. I'm not as big of a fan of like combination planters unless it's maybe a combination of different types of pothos plants. And I did want to also share plant foldies that I did do a lot of cuttings of different types of pothos plants. I'm thinking of planting them all in one container to have like a mixed planter. I am going to go utilize plant propagation, plant trades earlier this year to really acquire plants without having to spend money, because again, the months of January, February, and March, I think a lot of us are trying to scale back, are trying to watch our finances, are trying to save money, especially if we've overspent money, say over the holiday season. You know, the months of October, November, and December, a lot of people end up spending a lot of money. So as far as me, I want to scale that back and try to reel it in a little bit. But, you know, again, I'm going to be going to PlantCon 2025 in Orlando, February 22nd. And so that may end up getting busted because I may not be able to help myself. I've actually pre-ordered some gorgeous, colorful aglaonema from Art Garden Flowers from my friend Ricky, who is an Indonesian seller that's going to be there. And hopefully, if you are a plant foldy that is out in the Orlando, Florida area, or in that area that's going to be attending PlantCon 2025 in Orlando, I'd love to meet up with you. Yes, you will see a full face reveal because I will not be walking around a plant convention in a mask. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But going back to the plants, you'll notice that this Lowe's is not, I feel like it's not as restocked as some of the other Lowe's. And, you know, I touched base on some of my key learnings of 2024, and that is not all big box stores are created equal. Not all big box stores will have the same selection of plants, may not have the frequency of restocks. And so whenever you find a go-to big box store, I would say invest in supporting that particular big box store because you will not have to waste a trip. You'll get a satisfying plant shopping experience because you'll be able to find a lot of plants. But I mean, even this Lowe's right here, which I typically don't go to, they have upped some of their plant selections. I mean, we still have quite a bit of like the bromeliads. This particular one, I really like. It almost reminds me of like a Sansevieria or snake plant. And if you're going to ask me, some of the plants that I would recommend as an easy to care for beginner plant to start your new year off, especially if you're either starting a plant collection or wanting to acquire plants, get yourself either a Epipremnum aureum or what you call a pothos plant. Get yourself a Sansevieria or what you would call a snake plant. Get yourself a Dracaena, and definitely that should be like a need today. An aglaonema of some sort, whether it's an aglaonema silver bay, an aglaonema red siam, or a trending tropicals plant by Costa Farms. I think that those would be the best plants to add in your plant collection because it's going to guide you in the right direction. Now, as far as all of the plants here, you can see that this Lowe's location doesn't have nearly as much of a selection, but either way, you will still be surprised because even though a plant big boxer may not have the selection, check this out. This is an Epipremnum aureum neon enjoy pothos, also known as a Japanese Teruno pothos by Costa Farms, trending tropicals, $19.84. And I know that some of our plant foldies have been looking for this particular pothos. I happen to have two 6-inch trending tropical plants of neon enjoy pothos because I love pothos plant. That's another thing that I have scaled back to, is going back to the basics and my love for pothos. I'm collecting a lot of different varieties, and it's so interesting that I will find a neon enjoy pothos in a big box store, which I don't necessarily consider as being one of the better Lowe's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But hey, if you are looking for a neon enjoy pothos and you are in the Frisco area, definitely check this out. These are pretty healthy. They are very slow growing plants, but either way, it is, you know, it goes to show that even though you go into a big box store that may not necessarily have the potential selection you're expecting, sometimes you will find plants that you would not expect. And that's what makes shopping in general, plant shopping in general, exciting, because you never know what you're going to run into, and you never know what plant you're going to end up having an impulse buy. Like if I didn't already have a neon enjoy pothos, I would definitely buy it. Now this is another go-to pothos of mine, and this is a Epipremnum aureum global green pothos. This is another one of those plants for $19.98. Trending tropicals Costa Farms plant. Now the coloration, the more green on green variegation, is going to be significantly impacted by the amount of bright indirect light you give it. So more light, better variegation. You'll see more of the green on green variegation, and you can see right here, this one is 50% off. This is a shingle vine plant. So I'm not really a big fan of shingle vine plant because you have to grow it on a plank. For me, I like plants that are a little bit easier in terms of just how you display them. And then you can see right over here, this is a Mona Lisa lipstick plant for $16 $16.98 by Costa Farms. This one is the Ascendanthes. I guess that's how you pronounce it. And for the plant foldy that left a comment that asked me if I can mention the more common names of the plant, I definitely will do that as well. I just tend to know the Latin versions of the plant, so I'm gonna try my best to give you guys a common plants. Like this one right here is a Hoya carnosa Crimson Princess, and this one is for $16.98. And I actually forgot to mention, if you do want another easy to care for plant, Hoyas are a great addition to a plant collection because of how tolerant they are to drought. So if you are an underwaterer like me, you can get away with growing Hoyas because they don't require nearly as much water consistently. Like, you obviously want to consistently water them if you want to see some consistent growth, but if say you don't water them for like a month, they will still live. And that's the kind of plants I need. You know, my host mates on the plant podcast, Cultivation Corner, Janae, Simone, and Steven of I Live Plants, definitely check out their plant YouTube channels. They always tease me about like how if you go to Richie's home, it is full drought, and that is really truly the case. Unless a plant is in semi-hydroponic substrates like Lechuzapon or Leca, yeah, they're probably bone dry. And again, let's take a look at this right here. I am still almost tempted to buy another Neon Enjoy pothos. I love Japanese pothos, and that's another thing. As far as like any pothos plants that I'm going to indulge in for a little bit of a higher price, it would be the Teruno Japanese series. Now, my friend May, who actually has an Instagram account called D&M Secret Garden, she sells pretty much every single variety of Teruno Japanese pothos. So if you want to get get in touch with her, she has these. I mean, she actually has the Neon Enjoy pothos. Beautiful plant. And again, as far as this pothos, it is a slower growing pothos, but it is one that I think if you want to collect pothos, this is another one I would recommend. You know, as far as like pothos plants in general, I am actually excited to see any new varieties of pothos plants making it into the market for the new year. A lot of these new pothos varieties come from sport variegations or mutations from existing pothos plants, because pothos in general, or at least Epipremnum arium, I have yet to see one or hear of one blooming or actually producing a flower. So in order to hybridize them and get seedlings for potential new varieties, I have not really heard of that. And that's the reason why a lot of the pothos varieties have really come from like mutations in the variegation. Now, this one right here is a lemon button fern, $16.98 by Costa Farms. This isn't a 6-inch planter, and this actually makes it easier for me to grow hanging baskets. I prefer them to be in 6-inch planters versus the 8-inch because they don't take nearly as much surface space. And then you can see right here, this is another Hoya Crimson Princess. Beautiful beautiful Hoya. It's also known as a Hoya carnosa. You can see that variegation is also there. Very easy to propagate. You can take cuttings, put them in water, and they will root. And as far as like my cuttings and propagations, I know a lot of people say don't propagate plants during the winter months, but really a lot of the plants that you have indoors, they don't really go by seasons. I know that the days are shorter, therefore the lighting conditions may not have as much, but if you're growing a lot of your plants under grow lights, there's really not a season for that, if that makes any sense. Here is another Syngonium. This is a Syngonium, I believe, Maria, since it has a darker foliage. Now, if you give it more bright light, it actually has more of a chocolate color to it. Beautiful plant. It's an easy to care for plant. The only thing about Syngoniums I will say is, even though they're easy to care for, they do not like to stay dry for long periods of time. They start to wilt, and it's really hard to have them bounce back from drought. So if you're gonna grow a Syngonium, they are very fast growing plants. The only thing is you need to make sure that you're providing them with consistent watering. And if you want to grow them, you can either let them trail down as a hanging basket, but you get the best potential growth when you let them grow up a totem pole or moss pole. Now, as far as like bird's nest fern, this is a kokedama in like a coconut husk. What a pretty earth friendly, planet friendly way to grow plants, because then you're not using like plastic containers, you're using something organic. Now, there are many different varieties of bird's nest fern. fern. That's something that I want to explore perhaps this year. It depends on, you know, what plants I'm going to put in my plant collection. Currently, I have a lot of Aglaonema. I ended up getting a lot of them from overseas, particularly from Green Spaces ID. And if you haven't ever gotten import plants from overseas, I would recommend going to greenspaces.id. That's the website. And if you do an order, you can use my promo code GROWFOLDS20 for 20% off an entire purchase. If you are interested in getting plants from Green Spaces ID and you do have a Instagram account, follow me on Instagram at GrowFolds. I can put you on a group chat directly with Green Spaces ID, and we can see if we can get you even better pricing and just give you a little bit more confidence. I know that getting plants overseas is a bit of a stressful experience. I will say I've had some amazing experiences so far with Green Spaces ID. They've always gotten me healthy plants, and if for some reason there is a plant that is not healthy, they've got great customer service where they can actually replace the plant. So definitely check that out. But as I pull up these Kokedama bird's nest fern, this one is for $14.98. I really like the look of that, and I just like the green colored plants, and I don't know if it's just me like fixating on green colored plants. Like, I want to try to get everybody excited about looking at green plants versus just going for the variegated plants. I know that variegated plants, rare and uncommon plants are going to still be the trend even in 2025. But what about like a Dracaena Dorado like this for $12.98? As we celebrate and get into the first day of the year in 2025, I ask all of our plant foldies to kind of reflect about what plants you've overlooked and why, and what plants you're willing to give a shot to. Dracaenas, please take a look at Dracaenas. Please take a look at pothos plants. Please take a look at Aglaonemas. I know y'all are probably tired of me talking about Aglaonemas, but definitely check that out, or even pothos plants. Now over here, this is another underrated plant, but I would recommend adding this at the beginning of your new year. This is a Philodendron heteroraceum. This is just a green form. Sometimes it's called a Philodendron cordatum. It is a gorgeous heart-shaped leaf plant. Even if it's just a green variety, it's a pretty fast growing plant. It's an easy to care for plant. It can tolerate lower light conditions. It can tolerate some drought. So you may, even if you don't water it nearly as consistent, it'll still be okay. And again, I want to pull this out. This is another Neon Enjoy pothos. Again, this is another rare and uncommon pothos. And if you are plant collecting, if you are plant shopping, if you are plant hunting and looking for a Neon Enjoy pothos, $19.84, you can find it at this Lowe's. And right next to it is a lemon meringue pothos. So this is like a sport variegated mutation from the global green pothos that I believe Costa Farms has produced. And the thing about lemon meringue pothos is, for it to get that yellow tone, you need to give it quite a bit of light. But you can clearly see that there is a stark difference with this. I would say that these leaves have a little bit more of a heart shape, more narrow, pointy leaf as compared to the lemon meringue pothos. And as far as Epipremnum aureum, or also known as pothos plants, definitely add those to your plant collection. Plant foldies actually that have made it this far into the video, let me know what you think about the Neon Enjoy pothos or pothos plants in general. And if you haven't already, can you please press and take the time to press the thumbs up or the like button for this video? It definitely helps push this channel out to more plant lovers like yourself, and it just helps me out in general to grow this YouTube channel. I'm hoping that we can get to 12,000 subscribers by the beginning of February, and that is possible if you help me by hitting the like button, watching my videos in its entirety, sharing these video links on your social media platforms. So if you have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, those social media platforms would really help grow this channel out. And then you can see right here, this is a lipstick twister plant. I don't know a lot about lipstick plants, but this is another one that has some really interesting texture to the leaves. This is something I wouldn't really add to my plant collection because I like leaves that are a little bit bigger and more robust. But either way, you can't help but take a look at some of these Costa Farms plants. And I'm just going to keep picking up plants, showing you plants. Let me know in the comments if you are going plant shopping shopping at the beginning of the year. If you bought any plants on the first day of the year, for me, I have the superstition of like really watching my finances at the very beginning of the year. So I am strictly going window shopping or window plant shopping. This one right here is a dogtail cactus. It's another cactus that I didn't realize is actually more of a tropical cactus plant. It does not need to be in bright, and not bright light, but it does not need to be in full sun. It does need bright indirect light. Very interesting plant right here. And as far as like the care, I would say it does need fast draining soil. Don't overwater it. Give it bright indirect light and you should be able to grow that plant. And you can see right here, we've got even more Costa Farms plant. And I'm just going to show you these around and pick them up. Let me know in the comments what you think of what exotic angel plants you would end up buying. Plantfoldies, this is my first Hydra Helix, or what you call the Hedera Helix. That's the correct way of saying it. English ivy for 2025. This is the Ingrid Liz ivy. I've been seeing a lot of Ingrid Liz ivies, and I've noticed that as the leaves get a little bit larger, it's got a really nice shape. It's got nice variegation. Hedera Helix or English ivy is always going to have my heart, but unfortunately, it is not going to make it into my plant collection this year. This one is another Hydra Helix. This one is the Asterix English ivy for $7.98. Beautiful green plant. Again, I would love to see green plants be the trending plant of the year 2025. Let's push green plants as a trending plant for 2025. I did do a poll on my Instagram stories asking people, and I'm glad to see that more people are actually saying that yes, we should make green plants more of a trending plant. But I'm going to go ahead and pick up a couple of more of these trending tropical plants, Costa Farms exotic angel plants. Let me know which ones you would buy. Let me know if you have any questions about some of the plant care. I will flash the plant IDs to you as I pick them up. And Plantfoldies, this is another Hydra Helix, and this one is the My Heart Ivy. And I did find it interesting because if you take a look at the plant, look at how beautiful the leaf shape is. I really like the trilobe. It does look like the shape of the heart, but as you can see on the very right, and this is not toward Costa Farms, notice how there's little white fuzzies, speckles. That could potentially be spider mite. So, you know, as far as going plant shopping, again, you know, so I've had all of these questions about how you select plants. For me, I would look for plants that, you know, inspect the leaves, look for anything fuzzy, look for any specks of webbing. If that's the case, that's a potential plant pest. Look at the soil, see if there's anything on the soil that might be potential pests. Look under the sides of the leaves, look on the stems. if you find a plant that has any signs of pests, I would refrain from purchasing it, and not because it's the grower's fault. It's literally sometimes it just happens where the plant might be exposed to different types of people, different types of environment where they get those plant pests. It's not worth bringing a plant that has pests already into your plant collection, because you can, create a full-blown infestation of plants. So that one Hedera helix, I feel like might have some spider mites, so I definitely wouldn't purchase it. Now, if you're going to ask me, do I find that English ivy beautiful? Yes, it has that nice heart-shaped leaf, really beautiful plant. And then you can see that there are many different varieties of Costa Farms exotic angel plants. This one is a croton, and so we're just going to keep looking at these plants. The 3-inch ones are for $5.98 typically at Lowe. So let me know again if you have croton plants, or give me some plant insights in the comments section, and we'll just keep looking at some more of these plants.
Honestly, you've been chosen to everybody.
And plant foliage, you can see that this one is a Balforiana Aralia, beautiful plant as well. This is a variegated Aralia. I have tried to grow this plant about 3 times, but the thing about it is it does require consistent watering, and unfortunately I don't necessarily provide that, which makes it really challenging. And so I've sent that to Plant Heaven, and this year I'm really not trying to send a lot of plants to Plant Heaven. If anything, my New Year's resolutions are to be more intentional with my plant collection, to downsize my plant collection, to try not to get so many plants, try not to be more on an impulse buy, and try not to create these like fixations or obsessions about certain plants where I feel the need to collect every variety. The only exception would be Aglaonema, but otherwise those are some of my initial New Year's resolutions. Obviously, in order for you to make adjustments to how certain things that you do in your life, you don't have to wait till the new year. You don't have to create a New Year's resolution. I would just say whenever you're ready, go ahead and commit to it, and that way you're able to actually accomplish that goal. Like this right here, I mean, any other day I would have probably been tempted to impulse buy and buy this Hedera helix or the Hedera helix My Heart Ivy, because look at how pretty that is. And this is actually one that I do not really see. This is actually my first time seeing My Heart Ivy in a big box store. It's a pretty plant. Again, it is a green plant, and it's a coincidence because I have actually been more drawn to more of the green varieties of plants, at least on the first day of 2025, celebrating the new year, maybe celebrating a new me in terms of what is the plant aesthetic I want to take a look at. That deep green foliage is really calming. It's really relaxing. And hopefully that becomes more of a trending plant. And my insights in terms of plants and how they become popular, how they become trending, it's really because either a plant influencer has made it popular, either an interior design magazine or some type of interior stylistic magazine has made that plant more trending. But to me, if you want to make something trending, what I've noticed about social media is if you're just talking about it, like an example would be whenever I was talking about the Doc Block Anthurium Michelle by Proven Winners, a lot of people didn't even know what the Doc Block Anthuriums were. And then when I started like talking about it, when I started seeing other people posting it on like Instagram, YouTube, it became a trending plant. And even though I would say Anthuriums in general are trending plants, it wasn't until more social media started posting it where people were more after the plant, if that makes any sense. Like this right here, most people are not talking about a Dracaena warneckii. Like this one right here is only for $15.98 in a self-watering planter, and this is such an easy plant to take care of. Like literally drought tolerant, low light tolerant, and it can get big and it has beautiful colors. So I just don't understand why like these types of plants are just not something that people run to. And it's the same thing with this right here. This is an Epipremna pinnatum, Baltic blue. And what makes this Epipremnum pinnatum special is it doesn't necessarily have to climb up a pole or a moss pole for it to start to fenestrate or split its leaves. It does have a beautiful blue tint, more of like a silver tint, when you actually provide quite a bit of bright indirect light for it. Now, as far as this plant, the only plant pest I would say that it would be more susceptible to would be like mealybugs. And I'm telling you, mealybugs, it's a very challenging plant pest to get rid of. So you have to be really diligent about the plants in terms of just the plant care, pest preventative. And that's one thing that I am definitely going to even improve myself on. Last year in 2024, I was able to really keep a lot of my plant pests at bay. I had very minimal fungus gnats. I had very minimal spider mite infestations. The only thing I had was like a little bit of thrifts, and I just don't know if thrifts just populated out of nowhere. So plant foldies, let me know in the comments if you've had certain plant pests in your plant collection last year. What are you going to do about it this year? Today's plant shopping video is literally resetting and looking toward the new year. January 1st, 2025, whether you are going to be spending more money on plants, or if you're like me, today I'm scaling back and really being conscious about just window shopping, plant window shopping. So that's the thing. I know that every time I went and did a big box store plant shopping video, and if you watch my videos, plant foldies, that's pretty much every single day, right? Hour-long videos. It's very challenging for me to not pick up a plant like, say, this Aglaonema red Siam, $15.98, and not want to pick it up and buy it. I mean, that is a beautiful plant. Correct me if I'm wrong. I still think that this is a plant that deserves more attention. I don't think a lot of people are picking it up. And even Costa Farm says it's ideal for beginners. And, on January 1st, the first day of 2025, I think we should all go back to the basics. I think we should all go back to easy care for plants. Again, leave it in the comments, plant foldies, if you agree. And if you haven't bought an Aglaonema red Siam, and I've said that pretty much in the last 14 videos, please buy an Aglaonema. Like, I just feel like if I keep talking about Aglaonemas, maybe you guys will get more interested into it. I mean, it is a gorgeous plant. Like, this one has more red on it. It is one of those plants that I think if there were more varieties of Aglaonema readily available in the big box stores, I think more people would be collecting them. I would consider myself an Aglaonema collector, but more so, I'm just a collector of plants that just bring a certain joy about me, to me, a certain emotion I get from them. And that's really what I'm going to look for in terms of picking up plants. Like this one right here, this is a beautiful plant, and I really find it interesting because I wouldn't really be drawn to a bird's nest fern, but by Live Trends, this one is for $19.98. Beautiful plant. And Live Trends, I mean, they've really come out of the woodworks and given us some really nice stylistic planters. But as I pan away here, you can see that there are more Aglaonemas. These are the Aglaonema golden florites. Trending tropicals plant, $19.84. Again, this is another plant that I could have multiples of because it is such an easy to care for plant. Now, as far as Aglaonema, if you're going to grow them in a soil substrate like this, you want to water the plant when it is completely dry, when the soil is completely dry. You do not really want to overwater in Aglaonema because they're more susceptible to root rot. They tend to like to be completely dry before you water them. Now, as far as the growth, I wouldn't expect fast growth from an Aglaonema, but if you are expecting beautiful colors and colors that are consistent even in lower light conditions, Aglaonema are your go-to plant. It's actually just my number one go-to plant right here. But anyways, we're just going to keep pulling up some plants. Let me know in the comment section again what you think of the plants, and if you are planning on doing any plant shopping the first week of the new year, or if you already did plant shopping, let me know in the comments what you did on the first day of 2025. I happen to have to go to work tomorrow, but I'm super excited that I will be off this weekend and I'll be spending it with more family. Now over here is another urban jungle plant, and urban jungle even has a gorgeous Philodendron Moonlight. I just feel like Philodendron Moonlight has really been making its rounds in the first couple of days, at least the end of 2024, and even the first day of the year. I have a beautiful specimen. This one is not a bad price at all, $19.98 by Urban Jungle. So as far as all of the selections, while there may not be a restock per se, or this big box store is not as full, there's still a lot of plants to pick from. And this one right here, another Aglaonema, golden fluorite right here, trending tropicals plant. And if anybody that works for Costa Farms ends up watching my videos, I hope that Costa Farms will go ahead and release even more Aglaonema because I can't get enough of them. And that one right there, I would definitely separate that little baby from the mother plant and have a new one right there. You can look at the red Siam and then also the Aglaonema golden fluorite, and you've got a lot of coloration. Again, for a plant that has that much color, you don't have to worry so much about having to give it bright indirect light because it can tolerate lower light conditions. So I'm just going to keep walking around and showing you different plants here. You can see that it's still pretty full. I appreciate the organization of this Lowe's, and we're just going to keep picking up plants. This one right here is a Spathiphyllum or Peace Lily Domino. So it's a variegated form, $24.98, and I would love to add a peace lily to my plant collection, but the problem is, and I know this about this plant, is that it does need consistent watering, so it just would not do well for me. Still, I love the beautiful foliage of it, and Spathiphyllum or peace lilies are very low light tolerant. They're just not as drought tolerant, so you'll have to watch for that. And I'm just going to walk around and keep picking up some plants for you to see. Again, plant foldies, let me know what plants you are liking. I am really curious, and for those that actually leave a lot of comments in the comment section, thank you so much. Let me know your wish list plants. Let me know your New Year's resolutions, what you intend to do with your plants. I want to know it all because I want to engage with you guys. Now, this Leaf Shine by Miracle Girl. So if you want to curate your plant collection, I would say spend more time manicuring your plants, grooming your plants. You'll get more out of it when you look at these like healthy foliage. I mean, you can see right here some more Begonia maculatas. There is a little bit of browning on the leaves, and that's the thing. Begonias could be easy for certain people, but for me, they don't grow as well. I only have one begonia that is super hardy, and it's from my grandmother, and that is the Begonia Black Magic. It's done very well for me. I'm actually growing it outside, and surprisingly, even though we've had temperatures in the mid 30s in North Dallas, it hasn't really declined in its health, so I've been able to get away with that. Scindapsus trubeae Moonlight. This is definitely a plant I want to add to my plant collection at some point this year. It's just more of a want versus a need plant. And again, for those that don't know my terms for that, that's a Cultivation Corner Plant podcast term. If a plant is a want, it's basically a plant you don't have to buy that very day. You can wait for it. It's typically a wish list plant, a plant that you have to save money on. But if it is a need, if it's a plant you need, then you would end up buying that today. And as far as like the Scindapsus trubeae Moonlight, I have really identified it as more of a want plant. It's not a need plant. Talk about Aglaonemas though, they typically become needs, especially if it's a new variety that I've never seen at a big box or a local nursery. I will most likely, like 98% chance, purchase it unless I am really trying to scale back on plants, which is what I'm trying to do. But this one right here, this Epipremnum alplisimum silver streak pothos, beautiful plant as well. And I'm just going to pick it up and show you what it is. It's for $19.98. Taking a look at some urban jungle plants as well as live trends plants right over here. You can see this is a silver band marantha. There's lots of little hanging baskets. This is another Philodendron heteroraceum, gorgeous plant, easy to care for plant. Please buy this plant if you're going to add a plant, a plant into your plant collection, or if you're a beginner, that is one that I would say will save you money as well, because it's most likely not going to make it to plant heaven. And I do appreciate all of the new planters by Urban Jungle. Look at this gorgeous philodendron. Either this is a philodendron black cardinal, or I think this might be a philodendron imperial red. Either way, this philodendron is an easy to care for philodendron. And we're just going to look at all of the new urban jungle plants. This one is for $13.98, and I do like the terracotta underneath this planter. It's a really nice looking one. And then we have a live transplanter. This one's $18.98. This is a Pachira aquatica stump, or a money tree plant. Beautiful plant as well. And that is another plant that I wouldn't mind adding to my plant collection, even just the green form, because look at how pretty that is. And again, plant foldies, we're just going to keep looking at some of these plants. I'm going to pick them up, and you let me know in the comments if you like them, what you think of them, and would you buy them. And you can see right here, this is a Philodendron Summer Glory, again, for $19.98. This is by Live Trends. This is another Philodendron. I feel like it's underrated. I love how the leaves come out bronzy or tannish as it unfurls and then hardens. It's into like a satin finish. Beautiful philodendron. It's another plant that's easy to care for. And then Live Trends has a bunch of new Monstera deliciosas juvenile form for $19.98. I do love how simplistic the planter is, but more so I just like that heart-shaped leaf. I just wish that this Monstera wouldn't fenestrate. Sometimes I just wish it would just have really large heart-shaped leaves. It is a beautiful plant, and if you notice, it's got a natural shine about it. Imagine putting leaf shine on it and how pretty it would be. I am growing out my Monstera deliciosas. Now, as far as this plant, it does need bright indirect light. It definitely needs a pole or some type of support for it to continue to grow and mature. Stay on top of the the watering, you want to wait till the soil is completely dry and you can water it and it is good to go. But as you can see here, we do have some self-watering planters. This is another Marantha Silver Band, beautiful plant as well. This one is only for $13.98, which I do think by Live Trends, especially it being a self-watering planter, is pretty cost effective. You'll save some money. And as we begin the new year on day 1 of 2025, I would say everybody, let's scale back on our plant shopping. Let's just go, live through me vicariously and just look at the plants. I'm really trying to exercise some restraint in terms of buying plants. It is very challenging, especially when you know you have a plant addiction. And my thing about it is, the success on trying to get out of an addiction is knowing that you have one. And even though some people say a plant addiction is not harmful, I would say in some places it is, because number one, you're going to put yourself in a situation where you're going to overspend money on plants. And then number two, you're going to put yourself in a situation where your mental health could be compromised because you're adding so much workload, so much stress because you have bought so many plants. So, any type of addiction is sometimes one that you have to recognize, but also know that you have to find ways to kind of combat that. For me, it's really focusing on other things aside from just that need to buy plants. Like, I know that I would love to buy this Epipremnum aureum Marble Queen Pothos. It's only $13.98, but I already have a Marble Queen Pothos. So if I'm wanting to add more Marble Queen Pothos to my plant collection, I'd rather just take cuttings from my mother plant, put them in water, and then root them, and then have another plant that doesn't cost me money. As far as 2025, I mentioned some of my New Year's resolutions. I really want to be more mindful and be more financially responsible in my plant budget, my plant shopping. So even though I'm looking at these plants for only $13.98, this is another urban jungle plant. This is another Philodendron Moonlight. It's just one that I would say I could hold off on. I could just admire by just looking at it at a big box store. So I don't know, plant foldies, if you agree with me. I know that I'm giving you guys a lot of plant commentary, but I feel like some of you guys really do appreciate me just talking through the entire video and giving you my insights. And if you've made it this far into the video, first of all, thank you so much. Happy New Year. If you haven't already, again, please make sure you are hitting the thumbs up button, the like button for this video, because it definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And if you feel the need or feel like you want to support the channel through monetarily by providing me a monetary tip, you can always hit the $sign and give me a super sticker or super thanks. And if you're watching this during a live premiere chat, you can definitely see when I create a chat goal. Just click on that and you'll see what the goal is. Any monetary tip that you provide is patronize, as a patron, you would really help me just fund some of my expenses on creating this content, whether it's my gas money, whether it's me wanting to acquire a plant. So, as far as the plant foldies that have given me super stickers in the past, for those that are going to give me super stickers in the future, those greatly help me out and I appreciate it. Now, as far as the Live Trends hanging baskets, again, I love them. And you can see that there was that that Enjoy Pothos. And then this one is another Pothos. I would say this is either an emerald Pothos because it's got very subtle green on green variegation. The global green Pothos has more like stark variegation where you can definitely see the contrast. Either way, for $14.98, or actually no, $16.98, those are really nice. And then you can see right here a neon Pothos. So I'm just going to take down some of these hanging ceramic planters. Let me know if you would buy them. I think they're very stylish. I think they're easy, especially a neon Pothos plant. That should be your first plant to add into your collection for the new year, is a neon Pothos plant. foldies, you can see that we've got a gorgeous Alocasia Dragon's Tail, $13.98. And let me pull this out again. This is a stunning philodendron, either black cardinal or philodendron imperial red. Let me know in the comments, plant foldies, if you know the plant ID for this one. But for $13.98, it's even got a beautiful planter that I would put in my plant collection. It's got some simple but beautiful character to the planter, so that's something I wouldn't mind. I really like the clean lines. And then you can see there are some more Alocasia. This is just an Alocasia dragon scale, and there are multiple plants in the plant. So again, here's another tip I would say. If you're going plant shopping, look at how many plants you're getting in a single plant. The more plants you get, the more value you're getting for the plant, because you're saving money because you're getting multiple plants. Love it. As tempting as it is for me to get Alocasia, though, even though I figured out growing them in lechuza pond, a semi-hydro substrate, makes it easier, it's a plant that I'm going to hold off from buying right now because their care is still a bit more challenging and time consuming that I'm willing to add. But as far as that planter, that is a beautiful terracotta planter right there. $13.98. Beautiful plant. I have to commend Urban Jungle with some of the new planters that they've been adding to the plant collection. And even though I would say this big box store again doesn't have a full-blown restock, it is still exciting to see some pretty healthy looking plants regardless. And there's still selections out there. I'm going to pan away and just keep showing you some more of these plants right here. And plant foldies, you can see that I'm picking up all of the Urban Jungle ceramic hanging planters. These are only for $14.98. I wouldn't mind collecting all of them, like this neon, this Enjoy Pothos right here. Beautiful plant. It is a little bit slower growing, but you know, as far as the variegation, it will hold itself. And then this one is a live transplant. This one is for $16.98. This is a Philodendron Hederaceum Neon or Lemon Lime. Beautiful plant as well. And for you to have that yellow coloration, you do need to provide it with quite a bit of light. As far as all of these ceramic planters, again, they are gorgeous. And if you're going to ask me what plant you should start off the new year with, start off with a pothos plant, whether it's the neon pothos right here for $14.98. Look, it's already trailing. Look at how stunning. I mean, I just think neon pothos is so beautiful. And you know, as far as pothos plants, I love them, but if I'm gonna if somebody's gonna ask me my favorite one, it would be the neon pothos, because it is so reliable, it's so consistent and so easy. And so plant foldies, if you are starting the year off with plant shopping, let me know in the comment section, what is your first plant purchase of 2025? What is a wish list plant? Again, all of the commentary you provide for me, all of that engagement really makes me happy. It really does validate that I'm doing a pretty good job providing plant content. I am very excited. I have a lot of positive vibes I want to give to you guys. And as far as just the reception, again, I just cannot be thankful enough that you all invest your time on a daily basis to support me either on the live premiere chats. You already know all of the plant foldies that are on the live chats on a daily basis, or those that have consistently given me comments in the comment section. Really appreciate it. I do have these goals that I want to try to accomplish this year, and number one is to try to get to 12,000 plant foldy subscribers by February, and I can get that if you're able to at least hit the thumbs button, the like button, comment on my videos, as well as share this link to many of your friends or family that have social media. Again, it's one of those things where I don't mind going to a big box store, picking up these plants like this right here. This is another pothos plant. I love that this is one of the more newer varieties that have made it into a big box store. This is a neon queen pothos, and it does look like a golden pothos, but it's got more of that yellowish tint about it, like a marble queen pothos. But the neon queen pothos, beautiful plant. That one is for $22.94 by Live Trends. And as I swing around here and, kind of sum up, today's plant shopping video, I would tell you, if you're going to start the year off right, look at your plant collection, assess whether you need to simplify your plants, decide on what plants you're wanting to get this year, and just enjoy yourself. Be mindful and practice mindfulness by just taking the time, slowing down, and admiring your plants. I would recommend, manicuring your plants, really taking the time to cut off any dead leaves, really take care of your plants, because I think that that's where you get the most satisfaction. Now, obviously, you're going to see a lot of new plants. I'm hoping to find new plant restocks and really share that with the plant foldy community. But to start off the year right, again, I did want to wish everybody a happy New Year's Day. I hope everybody has had an amazing start to their year. And, as always, please make sure you're hitting the like button for this video. It does help the channel out immensely, and I do appreciate you guys also subscribing to the YouTube channel with all the notification bell on. My name is Richie. I will have a brand new video for you tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye.